We are
We're-
live. But you
Hi.
Okay, hello.
hello.
You'll go
Well-
nowhere and like it.
One way to answer the question. Hello, folks.
The Pyro Club is back. Kind of, maybe.
Sort of.
We need like a theme
Physically,
song.
mentally,
I mean, mentally, I'm 6.5 is what everybody tells me.
You seem
you should
awful.
see his resumes. They're in
generous.
crayon.
They always get a callback.
You should see where he applies, though.
And
When they call the Department of Mental Health, it isn't actually a callback. Just so
KMH
you
is a
know.
real thing.
All right. So, who is my
Victim?
my victim tonight for our recap?
So before we start, if I actually gave a false recap and got a good roll on the liar's dice,
You haven't used those in a
I
while.
was going to say
asking
that.
for a friend.
Remember, it is a minor lie.
Yeah. All right, I'll have Michael tell the tale then.
Yeah, he's good at that.
He's under 18.
All right, that
I mean,
counts.
it's a minor lie, yes.
hmm
He's also very, very good at lying.
Anyway, sorry, I digressed us.
Let's see. Victor, you're my victim this week.
All right, sure. Okay, so let me think. So we made it into Bremwick by the docks and managed to avoid a very out of control situation relatively well. With the dock guard, they're prosecuting people for believing in other religions now, at least specifically the religion of Phil's character, but
Odin.
Caleb. But so we made it out of the docks and got the kind of situation all handled. Managed to maintain our cover, at least in terms of the religious mode. We told them we're the heroes of Bremwick and the guards and all that. But in any case, we are on our way to some of us are on our way to the Council of, is it Lords? Council of Lords? What is it?
Right now, it's an interim council of 6.
Okay, gotcha. The Council of 6, that was it. But 3 of us are on our way. The other 3 are the other 2 rather are. I don't remember if they're still in jail or just kind of in custody for the moment. Oh yeah, that's right. They're going back to sink the ship that we came in on to sink all the contraband.
No, we're gonna do that later.
That's later.
We
Okay.
don't know that they are released yet.
Yeah, no, I know.
We're in jail.
Okay, so they are still in jail. Never mind. Forgive me.
That's good though. That's a good recap, and we can actually. So there's a reunion with Sassel Brickpurse, who is Caleb's cousin, runs the Pearl and Swine, and is current caretaker of one Magdalena, aka Maggie, who the party sort of adopted. After finding her alone during the slot invasion, Navik lavished her in in rare, expensive toys that Caleb and him had pitched in on across their travels. A reunion with one Lumpy Steve Potato,
Yay!
The best character.
a interstellar Clay Butler.
He's the best. That's all
Yeah.
we need to know. He's the best.
And let's see. Yeah, so definitely a narrow, tightrope walk of a combat encounter. Sort of precariously maneuvered with a clutch, 30 plus persuasion roll, and an old friend's warhammer, we'll
Yep.
say. So Rosie and Caleb are currently in the process of being released by one brother Heed, who is sort of in charge of the Church of Tyr, who has been contracted by Bremwick in the wake of the devastation to basically be the police. Rosie's story that she kindly whispered to me in our last session was that she is helping Caleb with whatever he needs, but has no idea what that might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also
needs her help.
Yeah. You also told them that you were from Bremwick. You gave them your real name, and you also mentioned Caleb by name as your companion. Caleb's story is that he is here to visit his cousin Sassel and sell some teapots and pans, and which is easily verifiable as well. Giorgio's story, who is also detained, is that it's just cornstarch, you blind idiots. Are you calling me a liar? And he is not being released.
Good.
Yeah.
There are charges that have been placed on Caleb, Giorgio, and Rosie, which are. Hang on, let me look back here. Where did I write those down? Here we go. So Giorgio is under arrest, and Caleb is being charged with 2 counts of assault on a peace officer, one from being set on fire, which he currently assumes was Caleb, and second for using a command spell. However, because of Caleb's honesty and his sort of shared background with Brother Heed, that of being in the military, those assault charges are being reduced to a reckless spellcasting charge.
Nice.
He's also got a resisting arrest, which is not being reduced, and the big one is possession of illicit substances for the purpose of trafficking, which is an 800 gold piece fine. Although Brother Heed suggested that he can perhaps volunteer his services when he has some time at the Church of Tyr, formerly the Church of Odin.
Lovely.
And maybe work off that debt a little bit. Rosalita is charged with accessory to resisting arrest, and that is all. Navik was going to be charged, but a cleric who got him into a full Nelson by the name of Miss Cynthia Wolf declined to press charges.
Oh, yeah. There you go, Navik.
Good job.
So where should we focus first? We have Minchinos, Navik, and Ithis on their way to the sort of the civic ward, where they are hoping to catch a meeting with this council. They've also learned that their contact in the council, Emma Salvador, who they worked with previously, has been arrested for treason and is likely not available there. Or we can pick up with Caleb and Rosie on the docks.
Would we know where the prison is?
There's
Where
actually more
she
than
would
one
be
prison,
held?
but
A high value prison.
there's a
Excellent.
good chance that there is
Political prison?
Yeah, there's one in the civic ward.
That's not the one where we roasted a couple of hundred civilians, is it?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that was actually a livestock house that had been
Is that what that was?
retrofitted. Yeah.
It was. It doesn't exist anymore.
I still feel like Garrett was in the moral right
Oh,
there.
we burned it. We burned it down completely too, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yes.
Garrett was the only one.
Yes.
Anyhow, why do you think we should go to the prison first?
Oh, I think we should go there after
Yeah.
we talk to the council.
What time of day is it?
It's pushing into late afternoon, so like
Okay,
4 or 5 o'clock.
because we still have to sink the boat at some point.
Why do we have to sink the boat?
Shh, you're not here.
Don't sink the boat, baby.
We paid a lot of money for that boat.
We're-
We
we-
didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey, we
Yeah.
did not. Also, there's serious contraband in there that has to be taken out, or we're all going to die.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. So, anyway, all right. So the council first, and then we'll see what time it is. See if we have time to go to the prison.
All right, let's swoop in on a group of 3, Ithis, Chinos, and Navik, sort of making their way through some bustling streets on a warm summer's afternoon. People sort of carrying construction equipment back and forth down the street, continuing to repair the city, and you find yourselves on the sort of wide thoroughfare that surrounds the palace ward. And pull up on the courthouse, I believe, is where they hold council. Yes, there's a wide set of gates out in front, and a long pathway up to a very sort of posh-looking building, and there are a number of guards out in front, looking bored.
Well, we'll fix that. All right. Pop my collar and do a quick prestidigitation to make sure I'm nice and clean. And the same to Ithis, because he's probably all bird fluffy and things.
Yeah, he preened.
Okay.
You guys pre-num.
All right. Let's just head on over.
All right.
Just
So
walking awfully officiously and like I have every right to do this.
sure. The one of the guards looks at the other one, and you can see that there's like some like quick arguing back and forth, as though they're trying to decide whose turn it is to go and deal with someone. And a rotund, sort of tired-looking man with a big mustache comes walking over. He goes, "Good day."
Hello.
Hello. No, sorry. Hello.
I am here to meet with the council. I am Chinos Inflicari and Navik, we're the heroes of Bremwick. We're here to returning to the council after a mission.
Well, there's no council meeting until the end of the 10-day. So,
Is any of the council in the building at the moment? I would definitely like to speak with somebody. I have important information to give.
None that I'm aware of at the moment, no. But if you have a letter or a message, I can certainly pass it on.
It is too sensitive to put into writing. This is verbal only. Well, actually, I can do a little magic and show it too, and
He's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
I'll do
I
a little jazz hands.
That's very good. So if you come back on the 10th, there will be.
I would
a
like
session
to insight this guard.
Sure. What are you trying to insight?
See if he's lying.
Lying about nobody being available?
Yes.
Sure.
I don't think he would give us a date if he was.
Oh,
Yeah, you believe him implicitly.
Oh, yep.
He wouldn't lie
Right.
to you.
so where might I find some of the council members? I would definitely like to speak to some of them.
Well, I mean, if you're on personal acquaintance with them, I'm sure you're
You
aware
know-
of where they
you-
live.
Perhaps you don't remember who we are. We're the part of the heroes of Bremwick that helped destroy the invasion, and then we were sent on a mission by Mr. Silva and Miss Salvador. I know, I guess something happened. We weren't here for it. I don't know. I'm not privy to any of that, but that was what happened a few months ago when we left.
Wait, are you?
Stephen the Magnificent, you might know me as?
No, I don't. Can't say
Okay.
I know that one.
Okay, that's cool.
Wait, you're not the guy with the like the 3 loots, are you?
No.
Oh, all right. I like
No,
that
was-
guy.
Yeah, he was pretty good. I like that guy too. Yeah, but no,
Okay.
that's not me.
You're not the guy who. Wait, and he points at Navik. He goes, "No, you're definitely the guy. Did you put out the ambassador to Remodna when he caught fire at the summit? You like brought that guy back from the brink."
Yes, I did.
Rapper John was born.
I was in the background. That was incredible. I gotta say, Mr. John, it's an honor to finally meet you.
Oh, that's amazing.
I shake his hand.
Really, we could totally use someone like you. This city is in sore need of doctors. I can give my. I mean, I'm only a palace guard, but I have a little bit of clout. I can probably get you in fast track.
I'm with my friends. I'm doing stuff with my friends right now.
Right, but when you need to make a little money, maybe just we're really short on doctors.
Out of character, real quick. This is an incredibly dangerous thing to be asking Navik.
We all know that.
Oh yes, no, that's Rusty chuckling heartily.
Yeah.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
nah.
But really, I knew that man personally. He's a good man. His burns have come a long way, and I got to tell you, it's good to see him walking again.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Is he still in town or?
Oh yeah, yep, he's around.
Okay.
He'd probably want to meet you. I'm sure he's got like a reward or something. I mean, you did save his life. His family is not, they're not poor.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Say no
I'll keep
more.
that in mind.
All right. Well,
Not-
again, if you want to come back on the 10th, court opens up at 10 a.m.
And what day is it now?
It's the 6th.
6th. Well, would I be able to? So the entire courthouse is closed, you're saying?
I mean, we allow like small like tour groups through, but there's nobody in there, just staff.
Where do the council keep their offices then?
Business offices are all through the civic ward. I can give you the addresses to the ones I've been to personally, if you need.
That would be great. That would be perfect. Thank you.
All right. Well, are you familiar with Veronica? What's her last name? She's new. Came in from Lumiracad.
I don't remember the name, but I'm much better with faces than names.
Miss Van Horn. She can be found. The little meat market.
Yes.
Just over near where the Temple of Tyr is, just in the back there. It's like 2 doors down from there. Just hang a right. It's the one with flowers outside of it.
All right. Good to know. Yeah, we definitely know where the meat market is. Well, you've been very helpful. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Jubilis.
Jubilis.
Yep.
Thank you, Jubilis. You've been most helpful, and I will make sure that the council does hear of your helpfulness.
Yeah, that's good to hear. It's a pleasure, Mr. John.
Very good.
Yeah, and he kind of like his sort of like lackadaisical approach has kind of stiffened up a little bit. You can tell he's feeling a little bit more like official, and he kind of like pulls his pants up over his butt as best he can, and kind of waddles back to his post.
We haven't had a long rest since I set somebody on fire, have we?
Nope, not yet. No.
It's only been like half a day.
It's been a busy
Yeah.
morning.
Fine. All right. Let's start walking that way. Should we try and get to the jail then?
I think we should.
Yeah.
Bear back like 2 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, Ithis. He's gonna go catch a bug or something.
Some crackers.
Yeah.
He runs into another place to try and use their bathroom. He ends up having to buy like 6 packs of gum.
Oh god.
A latte.
So, as we're walking away, I turn to Michinos. Should we ask the guards where what's her name is?
What, Veronica?
No.
I don't know.
Oh.
I think we may want to talk to the council first to find out exactly what happened. If they're setting her up for treason, I don't know if we want to necessarily put our necks in the line there. We're already kind of there since I dropped her name first.
Yeah. But if we ask the guard that
You could go.
was-
Your fan there. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ask your new pal.
find out where she is and what well, we can find out from her what happened.
Okay. Sure.
All right. I'll before I do that, I turn back to Minchinos. What was her name again?
Veronica?
Emma Salvatore.
Emma Salvador.
All right, Emma Salvador. Okay.
It's fun.
I turn back and
But never can't read.
yes, I can. I turn back to the guard and walk up a little bit to wave him over.
Oh, yep. Mr. John?
Wondering if you could tell me where Emma Salvador is being held.
Right. I'm not sure if they're allowing any visitation, but they're somewhere in the temple of Tyr over there, presumably in the basement somewhere.
In the Temple of Tyr?
Yeah.
That's an odd place to put prisoner.
Yeah. Well, we haven't gotten all the logistics set back up. You know, some of the prisons and staff haven't been able to be fully restored, and all of the red tape and paperwork isn't there. So while the church is sort of acting as police in the city, they're sort of just using their own facilities.
Okay. Thank you very much.
No, anytime.
I give him a pat on the shoulder.
Oh, hey, Mr. John. I've got this rash. I thought maybe you could take a look at. Wait. I understand you're really busy right now, but maybe next time you're through.
There it is.
Maybe next time.
Oh, okay. I understand. I understand. That's fine.
Take care.
And
I just walk away.
History books, didn't they? like when the guy was saying, "We'll get this one of the history books for you," he really wasn't kidding.
Oh God.
I walk away. I shudder a little bit.
Man, if Rosie was there, she would have totally wanted to know where it was and asked to see.
Yep. Yeah, well, looks like you have a friend who has a little something special for you.
Friend in need.
Friend
It's a
indeed.
friend indeed.
Little something to show you. All right, so, I don't think we really want to march into the Temple of Tyr right now. That seems unwise. I think we probably. So, how much do I remember of the docks? Do they have is it a large area? Is it a bay?
It's actually a number of different areas that are sort of cordoned off along the waterfront. And as you know, there's a big bridge that spans it, and the docks are kind of on both sides of it and underneath.
Uh-huh.
And it depends on whether or not people coming in are foreign ships, domestic ships, or whether or not they are just visitors.
Okay.
Depending where you guys came in, you came into the visitors' docks.
Okay. Is there a like a beach or a cove or anything like that within like a few hundred yards of that area?
Only on the opposite shore. It's mostly sort of like stone quays that are kind of set up to create a false waterfront.
But the bridge goes over to that shore?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. All right. I think then maybe we should go take care of our evidence.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well,
I think it would be wise.
I think we should look to see how it is, see what's going on with that, and if there's no one there, I can always use my ring to go get the stuff.
Stuff.
I could create a diversion.
That worked so well before.
I'm sorry, you're not dead, so and not there. So yeah, it did.
I am not dead. That's good.
Much to Minchino's ultimate chagrin.
So let's jump back over to
go ahead.
Rosie and Caleb on the dock. So Brother Heed has you both outside the tent, and he's like, "Now I understand that you're gonna want Giorgio. He's gonna remain in custody for a little while until we finish searching the rest of the ship. If there are any other charges, they will go on Giorgio and as you, the owner of the vessel. So we're gonna need you to stay in the city for at least until we've completed our investigation."
Fair enough.
I assume you're going to be staying with your cousin over at the Swine and Pearl.
Yes, definitely.
All right. And what about the rest of your crew?
They'd probably be setting up shop there as well. Yep.
All right. Well, we'll send someone over with any messages should we find anything else. But based on what you've told me, I don't think we'll be finding anything else.
Okay.
Have yourselves a good day. All right.
You, sir, as well.
I'm really sorry. I didn't know.
All right. You are free of
Free.
the inquisitive eye.
The
The
docks.
docks are still sort of teeming with people in blood red shoulder sashes indicating the T rune of Tyr on the side. Where would you like to go or do?
What's the ship look like? Or the area
Ship
around it?
is sort of in where it was moored, and you have probably a count of about 10 to 15 people on it right now. But it looks like they are, at least today, they are focusing their search on the hold. So sort of where the animals were kept and things like that.
Yep.
I'd be tugging on Caleb. It's like, can we get out of here? I really don't want to be here anymore. I don't know where we are. Take us somewhere cool. Bored.
Yeah, well, I guess attempt to find the others who I'm assuming are on their way back here, possibly by the time we try to meet up.
Was Navik, Ithis, and Manchinos heading back to the docks, or would you head back to the Pearl and Swine? I assume that's where Caleb and Rosie would go, but I could be wrong.
Whatever you
I don't
guys
think
want.
we had actually decided yet because we were trying to figure out how we wanted to deal with the ship.
Yeah.
Because we, as far as we know, they're still being held. So we probably would have started heading to the docks anyways to scout it out.
Yeah.
Because after Navik's idea with the ring.
Okay. So then, yeah, as soon as Rosie and Caleb sort of push their way past all the fishmongers and kind of get out to the main streets a little bit, you can see Navik's head sort of towering above the crowds, and a quill on the back of one Ithis, and you guys meet up.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Oh, hey, they let you go.
Yeah, well,
So-
of course they would. We didn't do anything wrong.
Well, that's good then. That means they haven't finished searching the ship yet.
Nope. They have me down for burning somebody. Thanks.
Huh. Wonder how that did happen.
I
That
know.
seems
I
weird.
wonder.
Seems really weird. It was so random.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Random.
so we're trying to figure out what to do about the ship and how to get that either off of there or at least not be able to be found right now. Yeah. So I have this idea. I can swim underwater without being seen or come up for an hour. I could get under the boat and sink it.
Why would you want to sink it?
Well, because then the hammer will be safe.
I mean, if you
Bear in mind, if he's aquatic, he can go under and
I
get
can
the
also
hammer later.
retrieve the hammer later, yes.
Yes.
exactly.
But what problem? Wouldn't they just search it more thoroughly if it was sunk? Because then they might think that there was.
How are they
going to
get under there? How are they going to get it?
If you can go underwater, wouldn't one of them be able to do it too?
I mean, possibly.
I don't think there are many sorcerers in Bremwick, unless we count that one.
There are other means of magic to do this, but
They can multi-class. No, Rosie wouldn't know that.
they certainly could. I've heard of people do that.
Have multiple skills.
Hmm.
Our alchemist is in Foxrun, right?
Correct.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other option that Navik mentioned is he does have his ring of invisibility. If we created some sort of distraction to keep, if there are people on the boat guarding it, some sort of diversion to get them away, maybe he could sneak on and grab your hammer.
I feel like there's too much risk involved there. Besides, if we sink the boat, we can pin it on the guy in custody.
That's true.
Whatever.
Giorgio.
Oh, poor
George.
George. Aw. He's many things, but I feel a little bad for him.
I do too, but it's better that than he and us all get killed when they find the Odin hammer.
Rosie wouldn't have any idea about what's going on with that.
No,
I
just
assume.
trust it's
Okay.
yeah,
I
there's
wasn't sure if she
something-
would she have heard about any of that, the Tyr thing, Liam? Like, reached to like Tyr taking over, Odin being like not cool. Like, would she know any of that, or this all be
No.
completely-
So just to keep in mind that the only reason anyone knows in this party, at least, that Tyr has slain Odin was because Caleb saw the basically the
Remnant.
remnants of a god while you were in limbo,
Oh, okay.
which is a plane of chaos, right? And then it sort of became all too clear to Caleb what had actually happened. The rest of the world believes that at least those who haven't resisted the deceit, imagine it's like a magical, like a super powerful magical spell where people's memories were actually changed.
Okay.
So most people now believe that Odin was like this weird cult, and it's like super dangerous.
Oh, okay.
And that's why they're watching out for these symbols, and that's what most people believe now, including the people working for Tyr.
But what would Rosie? Would you guys have told me anything? Like, what does she know about any?
That's
of
up to Caleb.
Yeah,
What would I?
that's
what would
all
I know?
Caleb.
What would you have explained to me?
Like, would Rosie have asked
Yeah.
why it was such a big deal to hide all of the symbols?
Yeah, of course I would have been like, why are we hiding all this stuff?
I probably wouldn't have said anything only because it was for the betterment of the less.
And
you
she's
know,
pretty new to the group too.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
you don't
the
really
less
know me.
people know, the easier it is for the fault not to fall
Yeah.
on them.
So we'll just say that there is contraband on there that has to be taken off.
But I would have seen his weapon though. I would have known.
Or
Would you have known?
well, you saw us
Rosie?
hiding it.
I
But
just wouldn't know why.
Right.
But I would have asked. It's Rosie. She'd
Also,
be like, "What are you doing?"
all the holy collecting all the holy symbols and things.
Yeah, you also
Um,
collected everyone's Eye of Odin and put it into the crab pot before you came into dock.
which also got cut and sunk, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Clementina cut the rope and
Yep.
sunk it into the river.
So, one way or the other, we have to get the rest of our stuff off of the boat before it's found.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
So Bremwick doesn't have any kind of like magical shops per se, or at least if they do, they're not like stocked.
So you have actually, it's been a long time, so you're forgiven for forgetting, but there is
Yeah.
actually one of the biggest magic shops outside of Lumericad is here, which is run by one Rumbluster Grubbins, who you've met back in the day.
Yep.
He's actually the guy you bought your plate armor from. I gotta look up his shop name because it's been a long time. It is called the Brass Drake.
Yeah, I remember we got a few different things there, if I remember it correctly.
I think some potions were purchased.
Yeah.
Okay.
We looked at a couple things that were super expensive for us at the time.
Yep.
So the only thing that's considered bad on the ship is my weapon, currently.
Right.
That you're aware of.
That I'm aware
Well, as far as we're concerned, that's what our
yes,
concern.
fair enough.
About.
So our options right now are sinking it, which is a bad plan, and trying to get it off the ship.
Yeah. I mean, I can try and bullshit my way around to create the diversion, but I don't know if that's a great idea either.
I mean, another option would be that we just leave.
I'm kind of curious to see what happened to Emma, though. She obviously was set up for something. There's no way she would have committed treason against the city.
Typical politics.
Except she's going to get killed for it.
Okay.
The other person you remember who was the whole reason you came to Bremwick to begin with back in the day was you rescued Emma's husband, Edwin.
Yep.
Who was the governor of Foxrun.
Is he still alive?
I don't think
He should be
He's
alive.
still alive, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did we find out where Edwin was?
We did not. But they had a house or something too.
Mhm. Yep.
That we went to.
Did they have a house here?
You went to Emma's office, if I remember. I have a map for it.
Okay.
Did they have
we
a
can
house
go-
here?
You presume so.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, are we
office.
talking in the middle of the streets right now?
I mean, you're definitely in the streets, but you can
Yeah.
be like off to the side, just talking quietly for sure.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, we would have pulled off to an alley or something like that, off to the side.
A dark alley.
Well,
All
shall
right.
we go to
Guys are
the
playing
Swine and
ukulele.
Pearl?
I guess we'll head back there unless you guys had some reason to be at the docks.
No, just to get your shit off of there.
Can't do that during broad daylight.
Nope. Well, probably not.
I could distract them.
I mean, there's a few ways, but none of them are ideal. All right, let's go back to the Swine and Pearl.
All right. I will swing you over to that map,
Hooray!
and I'll bring in Rosie
Yay! Rosie gets to go now.
and Caleb.
Actually, on the way there, I want to see if there's a toy shop for more toys.
Okay. Yeah. Let me think. You weren't in Bremwick very long before you were sort of imprisoned,
Slotted.
right? Yeah. So, would you be willing to like ask around?
Yes.
Yeah. So if you if you split off, or unless you're trying to convince them to go with you, you can
I'm
meet up
just-
with them later. I just want to know whether or not you're spending time together as a group, or if you just want to go off on a
Well,
side.
I would say it's probably a terrible idea for any of us to go off on their own, given the circumstances. So I'll go with Navik.
Sure.
Okay.
Caleb, Ithis, and Rosie, you want to help Navik find a toy store?
Sure.
Well, of course I do. I love toy stores.
All right.
I
So
wanna-
with the
Okay.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I want to go ahead to the Brass Drake as well, but
Okay. Yeah. Honestly, like if you want, you can probably like that's all going to be in the merchants ward. So you can make your way out there. The Brass Drake is the most obvious building here. It kind of sticks out. It's got this massive, gaudy, actual brass drake sort of affixed to the outside of the building. Its
I would
eyes are
definitely-
like animated.
Sorry, go ahead.
And its like mouth opens every now and then. It's like a Henson animatronic.
lovely.
I would have definitely gone there too if Rosie was going with Navik. No interest in a toy store, but definitely a magic shop.
Yep.
Well, you want any props for
Toy
Stephen
store.
the Great? Come on.
But there's a couple of toy stores that you see, or they're clearly marked as toy stores that are out of business at the moment. But you do find one with like an empty window, but like a handwritten sign that says, "Yes, we're open."
Big banner like from Clerks. Just
yeah, Navik, you can head on in there.
You said there were a couple toy stores that were not open, and
Yeah, they appear like shut down, broken windows, boarded up kind of thing. But the signs outside were obviously toy stores at
Oh,
one time.
great.
I was just wondering if they were open. You know, open.
I mean, the doors are closed.
you could
Okay.
see if they were unlocked.
Navik's like, what would Garrett do?
And he jams his sword into the lock to try and pick it.
I can see that.
I have finesse.
Yeah, you do, Trapper.
All right, well, I'll go to the intact toy store.
Okay. So you walk in, and there are rows and rows of sort of display shelves, empty. Occasionally, you'll see there's one that's got like a loose assortment of coins in it, like old coins that look like maybe they were collector's items at some time. There's some playing cards. There's a couple of like ruddy-looking stuffed animals on the shelf that have clearly been tried to be repaired by a unskilled tailor. And there's a woman at the back who has like a frazzled sort of look, her hair kind of falling down over her eyes a little bit. She keeps kind of brushing it out of her eyes and is looking at you through these little round Coke bottle glasses. And she goes, "Oh, yes. I mean, welcome to my store."
Tell me it's Mrs. Grimblebottom.
It is
Could you
not.
imagine?
Oh, Rosie wouldn't know any about that.
No, we wouldn't know. Well, we saw her picture, but we wouldn't
Right.
know anything else. Oh.
She says, "Hey, are you here to buy things? Yeah, I mean, browse.
Yes.
That's great. All right, for you,
No.
because I was gonna say I have just the toy for person of your stature. But maybe something like this is more. And she goes and she grabs like this. It's literally just a wooden block that has poorly painted numbers on either side.
Aw.
She's like, this is a handmade oak D6. You
Do
can
you
roll it.
have any
D20s.
boba action figures?
No, I don't. I did a long time ago. They're gone now. I had invested quite a lot in those little things. They swore the value would never drop, and then they were all stolen. But it's okay. I'm making it
That's awful.
one day at a time. Oh, hello! I didn't see you down there.
Hi. I like your store.
I like it most days. I mean, thank you.
What else does she have? Looking around.
Oh well, I have some playing cards. She like reaches down and they're like hand cut. Like you can tell that like everything in here is either salvaged or handmade by somebody who doesn't know how to make toys.
Oh god.
I have a rocking horse that I thought maybe your tall friend here would think it was neat, but for you it's probably like even cooler. Do you want to see it?
Sure.
Okay. All right, come on. And she like goes to like push this back door into the back room, and it just falls off. She goes, "Oh dear. Okay. Well, I'm getting better at this whole carpentry thing. Come on." She like brings you into the back, and what you see is just a tree trunk, like just a log, with like 4 legs stuck into it, as though it were like a pommel horse, and it's got a stuffed horse head just like tacked to the front of it.
Like a taxidermied?
Yeah, but it's like all made out of logs.
Oh god.
Wow, that's
Like there's still dried leaves on a twig hanging from the butt, like a tail. And it's just a stuffed animal head on the front. She goes, "This is Persephone, the riding horse. You want me to help you on up there?"
No, I'm good, but it's really cool. I'm gonna just like back away ever so slightly.
It's only 20 gold.
It's long.
Or best offer.
It's big. It's heavy. It's wood.
I like it, but I have nowhere to put a big toy like that.
Oh, I understand. I could take some material off of it and maybe shrink it down a bit.
No, I'm good. Anyway, I'm not here for me. We're here for him, the big guy.
Right. So what do you think?
I bail
Yeah.
him out.
Lots for words.
We don't want anything here.
But you haven't seen my most best toy yet.
Oh.
Give me a second. And she like goes over to a trunk and she starts throwing scraps of leather and things out of it. And she comes out with what looks like a small sphere that you have seen before. It's glass, and inside of it is a little golden star.
It's the first Dragon Ball.
We're on our way.
Light Dragon Magic, go!
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
I think Navik. Oh no, Navik hasn't seen it before. Never mind. You have no idea what it is. It's just a pretty little glass sphere.
And it's only with me and Rosie right now?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Stay
unless
with us.
you guys didn't go to the Brass Drake.
No,
I
we
totally
were
went to
going to
Brass
the
Drake.
Okay.
Can I try to figure out what it is?
You sure can. You can do history or arcana.
I don't know either of those.
I mean, you're Trapper John,
But
you know
does
everything.
Trapper John?
Yeah. Rosie does, though.
Yeah, Rosie knows her shit.
Yeah, I read all the books with pictures.
Rosie, what she is holding in her hand is a. It could either be a spell focus, or you've read about these things called enchantment keepers. They're basically glass spheres that you put a minor enchantment on, and then they're kind of like a neat trick. They might cast light or
Okay.
just simple little parlor magic tricks that a hedge mage might do. And that's what you know about this.
Okay. I'll be like, that's actually kind of pretty. I like that. May I look at it?
Yeah, it's quite fragile actually. I can't hand it over unless you purchase it.
And how much were you asking for?
For this, she kind of looks into it a little too long, and she goes, "Actually, I don't think I can sell it. I'm sorry."
I'd be like, are you sure? I really like it.
I don't think I can actually. And she like puts it down her blouse.
My precious. My precious.
This feels familiar.
This was Eduardo days, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It's familiar.
He's trying to remember. The cogs are going.
We can
That's
see
only
it.
No,
3 years ago.
Yeah,
Yes.
not that long ago.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was anything to do with Navik, so
No.
Ooh.
Is there any way I can convince her to part with it?
You can try and persuade her. Yeah.
I try. I really, really, really like it. Oh, apparently not that much.
Oh,
She kind of holds it under her shirt and she goes, yeah. I shouldn't have shown you that. It was actually a foolish thing to do. It's not for sale. But the horse Persephone is dead. It's for sale. For sale.
Maybe some other time.
Okay. Just forget I ever showed you this, but please don't tell anybody about it. Okay.
It's a mental note.
Actually, I think I have to close the store now. Goodbye.
Actually, before that happens,
Yep.
I'm going to try to intimidate her to sell it. Well,
Okay.
you showed it to us. Now I want to buy it.
And you're gonna loom over her. Are you trying to physically intimidate her or like threaten her?
Damn it!
You're obviously
Why?
threatening as a pile of
You're just like
potatoes.
you like lean over her. She's like 5'0" and probably weighs about 80 pounds. And she's like goes back like this, and as you're saying, she's like, "You have to sell it." She goes, "No, you big buffoon!" And she kicks you in the shin and runs,
She
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
like out the front door and down the street. You hear the little jingle of her front door.
leaving this door.
Yep.
Cool.
I like her. I like her a lot. Well, that was weird.
So you're alone
All
in the
right.
back of a poorly stocked toy store.
With a
in
log.
Bremwick.
With a log.
Well, is there anything
She
else back here?
left me with her log. Gross.
You can see numerous attempts at carving what look like animals or like horses or carts. They're awful. There's just like wood shavings all over the floor. She doesn't have any proper carpentry tools, so it's all being done with like butter knives.
Oh, lovely.
Oh my
God.
Oh, I feel almost bad for her.
Uh,
Well, Navik, I guess that's a bust.
you know what? I'm going to do something.
Mhm.
I'm going to put a dagger on the table. So at least she has a dagger.
Maybe you should leave a note, just think that's some sort of threat. Just be like, he's gonna be back.
Dagger into Persephone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like
exactly.
he's just stuck in the horse menacingly.
With a note, you just stick the note in the.
This is for you.
Oh my god.
A note that says "We
This
know."
will be for you.
It just says.
No,
in
I'll
I'll
room.
carve it into the horse.
This would never be misunderstood at all.
No.
Oh my god, that's funny. All right, the brass drake door opens to the sound of a tiny dragon roaring, And before you are a number of aisles. And this place, you remember, is sort of a magical pocket dimension store. It's like it kind of rearranges itself depending on what you're looking for. And at the moment, it is sort of configured for jewelry.
Perfect. I will walk up. Counter.
I'm with you.
Blusters there.
There is no rumbluster here, but there is a man in a like purple sort of smock, hair greased back, and he's like, "Welcome to the Brass Drake. How may I help you?"
I am looking for a specific item.
Well, we specialize in carrying all manner of magical wonder. What do you fancy today?
I am looking for something no larger than probably my palm that would be able to emit on either a command word or even a press of a button of some sort a no more than like 10-foot diameter anti-magic field.
Oh, interesting. Wow, that is quite the
Anti what?
specific request.
Anti-magic.
Okay.
Well, we can certainly put in a request for something like that to be enchanted. Did you want to describe it to me? Like, how does it look? What the command word might want to be?
Again, probably no larger than my hand. Almost. It could probably be spherical, maybe even flat. Doesn't really matter.
Okay. So enchanter's preference, maybe?
Sure.
Very well. That's easy.
I'm quite sad that you don't have any in stock, but I guess this is a very specific request.
Well, anti magic is quite powerful magic.
Yes.
But I mean, if we cater to all requests, so if you've got the budget, we've got the enchanter.
Speaking of budget, how much that be?
That's a good question. I think let me see. What level of spell is anti-magic field?
8th.
Oh Jesus. Do you need it to be a 10-foot radius sphere?
I want it to be a 10-foot diameter. Like
Diameter.
doesn't have to be
Okay, so half the size. And you just want it to nullify magic within its diameter.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think on the spot it's going to be more than a +1 weapon would be, which is about 1,200 gold.
Yeah.
So I would say it would be in the ballpark of 2 to 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, if you needed something that was rather than a permanent enchantment, perhaps something that was just a one-time use, that would certainly reduce the cost. Something that could just expend its magic and then would just be a harmless bauble.
And how long would that one-time use take? How temporary?
Well, that depends. How much time do you need?
Probably like.
Okay, so a day and 10-foot magic, anti-magic field. Okay. But one shot.
Now, I would be interested in the temporary one if you had something in stock.
Well, we could certainly create something that is consumable by the end of the day.
Okay. How much would that?
Let me do a quick check here. You'd be basically paying for a scroll.
Yeah.
Of which are cost per level, I think.
I think so.
How much would it cost if you were a wizard and wanted to inscribe it? I can't remember what the rules are for
Scribing a
wizards.
scroll?
Yeah, there's 50 gold, but the ink. Oh crap! It's been a while. There is a higher level cost though.
Copying a spell into your spell book. Blah 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 blah. For each level of the spell, it takes 2 hours and costs 50 gold. Okay, maybe they couldn't have it done by the end of the day. But that's like 400. That would be the base cost. So they could probably have something for you for about 800.
Yep.
Is that it? Is that all you're looking for?
That's all I'm looking for. I will
Cool.
get back to you.
All right, yeah.
I would definitely like to talk a little bit, though. I
As a
believe we
roller
can
buddy.
probably do some business.
I believe we can as well. Yes.
Absolutely.
You have lovely robes, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
I
I'm very happy with
recognize the workmanship.
it. I am very happy with them. They've served me well and continue to do so.
Good, good.
Um,
Always happy to see a satisfied customer.
I'd like to talk a little bit about a thing that I've heard of. I would definitely be interested in having is one of those bags, either bags or the small backpacks with the extra dimensional storage.
Oh, a bag of holding. Yes, a very common request.
Mhm,
I believe we do have 1 or 2 left.
mhm.
Just give me 1 second to pull that up. On his magical tablet, it's like
Yep.
he's at the Apple Store.
Yeah. I assumed.
Hang on, I have a list of magic item prices that are adjusted to my world. Mm-hmm. Bag of hold. You sure you don't want a bag of devouring?
It's, you know what? I would have some use for that, but not right now. I definitely would want the bag of holding, and we'll put a pin in the whole bag of devouring thing.
It is 1,500.
Okay. I'm also interested in if you do repairs on magical items.
We do have an artificer on staff.
Mhm.
They are quite backed up, but we can absolutely take an order.
Well, I have. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on the name of the tank. The apparatus. And I have an apparatus of Qualish. that
I'm sorry?
definitely needs an apparatus of Qualish, and I would like to have some repairs done on it. And with that and the bag of holding, I think we can do
the
business.
legendary wondrous item apparatus of
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we can do business. And I hold up and put on the counter the talisman.
Talisman of the Sphere. Okay, he grabs a little eyepiece and he kind of zooms in on it and he goes, "Oh, that is interesting." I'm not
Would
sure.
like to work out. I would like to work out a trade. This is an item that I'm sure you are familiar with, the legendary sphere annihilation.
A sphere of what? Sorry,
Annihilation?
is this dangerous, sir?
Yes.
No, this itself isn't. The sphere is. And what this does is it allows you to exert some control over it if you had one. It is a highly sought after item, and I would like to work a trade to have the repairs done and a nice bag of holding to
Who would want to
put
sell
some things in it.
the key to a mass destruction item to repair a freaking tank?
You don't know this. You don't know what it is.
I'm sorry, but Caleb is there and he heard a sphere of annihilation, so he does know what it is.
Oh, yeah. No. Well, he was also there when the gnome was talking about it, too.
Yeah, and also has a note in his inventory with a specific request. So the man at the desk, he goes, well, I need to get this authenticated, of course.
Of course.
I have to say, though, I am fresh out of Spheres of Annihilation to test
I
out.
don't. No. I wouldn't expect you to. I honestly think this is something you could probably sell to somebody else. The Mages of Americat are interested in it as well, but I would like to have, a good working relationship that we've had before.
Right. Well, this I think I might have to get Mr. Grubbins to
How
take
is
a
he?
look at.
How is he?
Oh, he's well. Yeah.
Haven't
he's
seen
quite
him in
well.
months since after the invasion. In fact.
Oh yeah, he's been traveling, going to different collectors' fairs, antiques, auctions. He is in town, although he won't be back until later this evening. But I can definitely let him know you've come. We need to figure out what kind of insurance we'll need to get on repairing the apparatus of Foolish.
Of course.
I don't think our artificer would want to touch it until he was 100%, covered.
Well, this apparatus was part of the final battle to drive the slot out, so it would be also some prestige for him as well.
Oh, so it has a story as well.
Has a story and everything. Mm-hmm.
Well, stories do sell.
Why does it do this?
That's going to make the insurance more expensive, of course. But
No.
All right. So you are willing to trade a full repair job on an apparatus as well as a talisman of the sphere. Is that what you called it?
Yes.
Right, which controls annihilation balls.
That's my understanding. I haven't seen them either, but
right,
they're very rare. And honestly, I'm not even sure they exist. But there was a gnome that we ran into from the Americat. Was very interested in it, so I think there's good value here.
Yeah, I believe there's quite a substantial amount of value here. Which is, most people come in here and they want to make somebody's food taste like poop. Just little enchantments like that.
I can do that. I can do that already. I'm talking some bigger stuff. I mean,
yeah.
Also, you've also got stuff behind the counter, the special selections. I'd also be interested if there's something in there too. But
yeah. Well, how about this? I will let Mr. Grubbins know that you've come by.
Perfect.
I will give you, and he reaches under the table and he puts a small pebble in your hand.
Okay.
And he says, when Mr. Grubbins is ready for you, the pebble will heat up. And make a small dragon sound, and you'll know to come back.
Great. And he can also find me at the Swine and Pearl. Where I'm staying.
That's perfect. Is that your place of residence at the moment?
That is where I will be found. Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. Your name was
Minchinos.
Minchinos. Okay, perfect. Is that an Adiakan name?
Not really. It's a little northern Ramona type area.
It's quite lovely.
It's wonderful. If you haven't been, you should go.
I would love to one day. Perhaps when the world is just tripping in spheres of annihilation.
Yes, because we all want that.
But anyway, well, let me know when he's back, and we'll talk about the value here and what we can work out as a trade.
So you can put a pebble, pebble of contact in your inventory, and it's tied to Rumbluster Grubbins.
Pebble of contact.
Come on, Jody.
Oh, that was a long voyage for that one.
Oh, I get it. I got there.
Like I said, it took a while.
All right. Anything else anybody needs in a magic shop? Any potions or things like that?
I don't even remember what we have for potions.
If you do have a shopping list that you want to peruse, you can sort of just send me it on Discord, and I can send you the prices.
Sounds good.
All right. So you guys meet back out on the streets, and where would you like to go? Actually, can I get a perception check from everyone?
Everyone. I also want to inquire with Minos A, where he got this wonderful talisman. B, why he has no vanity at all. Yes. And one.
Why did it want to come? Oh, jeez. Never mind.
All right. You meet outside of the Brass Drake.
And I want to tell Minchinos all about the sphere, and then I wanted to buy it from it, but the girl ran off with it.
How about
Oh,
if
so she had a sphere, huh?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's
No.
She had a
It just
lovely
needs to
set of
roll.
spheres.
a set of them. Nice.
The item she describes, of course, brings back memories of the false prophets
Mhm.
that sort of were used to. They're used by assassins to sort of lure their marks out into a position where they are easily taken out.
So, do you both, Caleb and I, remember that, or just one
probably.
of? Yeah.
Yeah, I think anyone from the original group that was, in fact, somebody probably even still has the book that sort of described how they were
I
made.
think I remember who had the book.
Garrett.
Oh,
No, I'm pretty sure Dices had it.
oh, really?
Probably Dices,
It's
yeah.
probably true. Yeah.
Dices.
Because she was the beefy carrier of things for a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
pack mule.
so yeah, that probably means she's in a lot of trouble.
Oh, should we help her?
Do you know where she went?
That way? She ran out the door. Navik, did you
Navik.
see where she went?
You know where she went.
No, I don't know where she went.
She just ran out the door.
Yeah, that is a sign that somebody's probably going to try and kill her.
That poor girl.
But if we don't know where she is, I don't know what we can do for her. You know what we should do is also try and get in touch with our other friend here in the city, Finithal.
Thinking the same thing.
Is he here?
He's drinking. Hold on.
Yeah. It was mentioned last week he was still around. Sassel said he was still around.
Yeah, Sassel said he dropped into the inn every couple months.
Although I bet he already knows we're here, but we should put some word out.
I was thinking of contacting him. That might be our safest bet of getting what we want.
Yeah, or our friend from the meat market, if they're still in that business.
Question.
Mhm.
I guess Victor would probably know this one too, but where is Garrett after all of this? Did he actually go to wherever his brother was?
Ramona?
Last we heard, he was in Ramona.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh damn. Okay.
So Bremwick does have what is called a sending house. Big cities tend to have them. You can go in there, you pay a gold fee, and you can basically use their sending stones to contact somebody. It's basically just they give you a message spell.
All right, so we text them.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
They're usually about 10 gold per message.
we should probably go hit up Finithal then, and whatever the heck her name was. I can never remember.
Her?
Corin.
Yeah, Corinne.
Corinne.
I haven't been practicing saying her full name. Damn it.
Yeah, no. Arabrahel. Oh, pardon me. But let's put a message out to them, and then we have to figure out what to do with the ship.
Wasn't there like a specific area we could leave a message? I guess it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good memory. He did tell you about a specific location in the city that if you position a rock in just such a way, he will know that you are looking for him.
There we go.
Wasn't it behind a temple?
Next to a well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember the well. I didn't remember the
That was
tent.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Good memory.
I'm
I
really
remember we
surprised I
found him in
remember
the
that.
barrel, but I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
That well is behind the now Temple of Tyr.
Hey.
Fantastic.
That sounds like fun.
All right.
I've never been to a temple of Tyr. Should we
I
check it
feel-
out?
I feel
Maybe
like
later.
might be we don't really have time for tourism at the moment today. It's getting dark.
Oh, okay. Maybe
It's
tomorrow.
about 6:30 now,
Yeah.
but you have daylight until probably like 9.
I am getting a bit hungry. Is there anywhere good to go to eat?
Back to you haven't had Lumpy Steve potato meal?
Hasn't been in the back room yet.
What does that even mean?
Mhm.
What's a lumpy Steve potato? meal?
Imagine a
Is it
restaurant called
toy?
Lumpy Steve Potatoes.
We should make it.
Oh, fan art.
I'm totally making a tavern. And you run that.
Yep. Yep, I have to do something. Yeah, we'll head back to the Pearl and Swine.
That sounds nice.
You're into all
Oh,
that.
you'll love it.
You've already been there.
I haven't been
No.
there
Yeah,
yet.
we went there. And
Rosie has not. Rosie
We never
hasn't
stopped
yet.
in. We threw our characters in. But we
Oh.
never actually went in, as far as I'm
But
aware.
that's why
Yeah.
I switched to the back.
Yeah, I switched because that's where I thought you guys were meeting up at the time,
Right.
but then you
We
branched
met,
off
yeah,
to the
we met in the
stores.
street. We never
Yeah.
actually made
Yep.
it there.
The toy store was the detour. But now you can step through and find a bunch of familiar faces from your voyage over here, and Sassel.
Happily serving stuff.
Yeah, he sees Caleb and he goes, "So you're not dead, huh?
Not yet. Been trying.
Good.
But no, not yet.
Good. It's good to see you, cousin.
Good to see you too, Sassel.
You want your fallen chair?"
Always. Ran out
Good.
halfway down the river.
Yeah. He's like, it's pretty popular. We've got it in like 7 other bars.
Sweet. Making a good profit.
We're doing all right. In classic Dragon Hewer family meetup form, the conversation dies out there, and they just sort of like go,
I would be like,
Yep.
Kitty! And I'm gonna rush over to the
"Oh, yep, you got a little one there."
hi, and I'm just gonna like a blur speed, like, and I'm gonna book it right to the.
They're
right
so
to the
energetic.
pocket.
Mhm.
Kitty.
Yeah, Pocket is like draped over the hearth, and is quite happy to have
the
have
pets.
their neck scritched.
All the scritches.
Scritchy, scritchy.
Oh, kitty.
So Clementina gets up and goes over to Minchinos and Caleb, and she says, "So is everything good? We're all cleared up."
Mm. Define
Oh,
all
dear.
cleared.
So,
You don't have access
well, you're
to
not
the-
arrested. You're not hung in the streets. That's a good thing.
No, I just have charges apparently I need to pay, which
And we still
you
need to
get
get the contraband off of the boat.
Right. Where's Giorgio?
He's in jail. As I'm petting the cat.
Oh no.
Mhm.
Well, his crew aren't staying here at the moment, but they did come by and say as soon as he's here to give them their paychecks.
that's probably not happening either. Giorgio.
Right.
Speaking of, do any of you know how to drive a boat?
There's like the camera pans just past Clementina's head, and there's a room full of people going,
Take that as a no.
Morden at the bar kind of like slams his ale down. He's like, "If you can drive a cart, sure you can drive a boat.
I mean,
Same
Yeah,
thing."
Totally.
I mean,
I don't see why
Uh-huh.
not.
Sure. In that case, I can drive a boat.
Ooh, can I drive the boat? I want to turn driving the boat.
Rosie can drive the boat.
Yeah, I'm driving the boat.
I walk over to the bar and grab an ale.
Morden is like 3 sheets to the wind at the moment. He's just like saluting Rosie as his new captain.
Great.
Do I get a hat? I really want a fancy hat.
Morden gets up from the bar. He's like, "We're going to get you a hat." He walks
Yeah,
out, jingling his coin purse.
I'm getting a hat. Captain Rosie.
Well,
Yay!
Gordon's gone. Poof.
Yeah, he kicks out the door.
Minchinos moves over. Seat's still warm.
Didn't want to sit next to me, that's all.
Smell.
Yeah, because I'm the one.
actually, I was starting to move. I was going to start to move into the mansion.
Oh yeah. So Clementina is saying, so what's left on the boat? Is it? I cut the symbols. I'm not very popular at the moment because of it, but
The symbols would be better to be found.
you think so? Well, what's? I assume your weapon is still there, right?
Yes.
Okay. So all we have to do is wait until night and kill every last one of them, and just sail on out of here.
Totally.
I did suggest that.
I stopped petting the
did
cat and be like,
suggest-
Totally did not suggest that.
Mm. I did also suggest sinking the boat.
I suggested leaving, but we have apparently
We could
other
leave.
priorities. Could leave.
I'm the captain. Let's not kill people.
Okay. So what if alternative plan? All right, we know where it's hidden. What if I don't know magic? Well, I don't know teleportation magic. Is there something you can do, like I don't know, like scry on it and then teleport it out, or
guys, I can cast Dimension Door. Can that help? Wait, underwater. Maybe
Also,
not.
you can
Underwater.
only take someone who's
It's not
on
that-
the other side.
The hammer isn't underwater yet.
Oh, I mean, it's not underwater, but she can still cast Dimension Door.
Right.
Just
I
reach
can-
through.
I can do short range rotation as well for myself.
but not items.
No, I would have to go in there myself and get out.
Okay, so we just have to get on the ship, and it's right next to the front of the gangplank, right? We just pop it open and
Mm-hmm. And
like, kill every last one of them.
We don't need to necessarily do that.
Wow.
I mean, I admire your spirit. I can't argue that.
Clementina's like, she's like, you don't know what they've taken from me. Taken everything I had back in Adiaco. Someone's gonna get hurt.
Feel bad?
Someone's gonna get hurt real bad.
I'll turn. I guess I'll ask the crowd since I don't know what you have now. But does you have like?
Pelin and Prelin probably have like some minor illusion magic.
Yeah.
But nothing like major image or anything like that.
I can animate objects. I've always wanted to make a broom sweep and clean a room.
I should introduce you to the chair in the other room.
And Maggie.
Yeah, I don't even
Also
know what's in
Maggie.
it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Because I'm thinking out loud here.
Mhm.
I'm assuming minor illusion would cover up the head of a hammer.
Yeah, you could do that.
That's my thought.
No larger than a 5 foot cube.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure my hammer is not 5 feet.
That'd be amazing.
Ah!
Oh my. You're overcompensating.
That's when that
Yeah,
was like, this hammer is now mine.
It's like an anime weapon.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just.
Instead of the Buster Sword, it's the Buster Smash Mace.
Buster Hammer.
Buster Hammer.
Mhm.
And what does minor illusion require?
It's a cantrip.
Yeah, but like, oh, so does it need?
It's a 30-foot range.
Do you need to see the item?
No, you need to see
Yes.
the item, but it's
Yeah.
material and somatic, so it's touch.
Yep. Well, no, a 30-foot range. It's a range of 30 feet. Bit of fleece.
But here's my thought.
Somatic and material on mine.
Yeah, somatic material, so it's not verbal. So you just need to see it, move your hands a bit, and ta-da.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da.
But here's my thought: is I could probably request grab some items. They'll probably escort me on. But if I can take somebody who has the ability to cast minor illusion, probably grab the hammer.
I can animate stuff.
Like Silence says, nobody.
I mean,
I'm the captain.
It's possible. They already detected spell casting before.
I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, because it was verbal and I was yelling things.
Okay.
It's just a thought.
I mean, I can do that.
I mean, don't you have your fancy dancy stuff that you can cast something?
No, I don't have that.
Find it.
Nope, I can make things more powerful. I can make clones of my spells. Can't do that though. Yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming you probably have the ship under quarantine for at least another 4-ish hours, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
We have basically 24 hours to try and get this thing off. Probably less.
Yep.
Clementina says, "So, who wants to buy me a weapon?"
Nice kitty.
I'll point at Abek. I'm like, I'm sure he can get you something.
What do you use?
Anything. Longsword?
I got one of those.
That's awesome.
Pepper John, Medicine
I
Man,
have-
Survival Man.
Do you
Arm
want a
Dealer.
bloody longsword, a silver longsword, or a hooked stiletto?
Tell me more about this stiletto.
It's hooked.
How hooked? Like, can I gut someone with it?
Yeah, probably.
I'll take that.
Okay.
Yeah, this will end well.
Take the hooked stiletto out of the backpack.
She sees that it's only like this long, and she goes, "Maybe I'll take the bloody longsword as well."
Okay.
As well. Speaking of items, actually,
Yeah.
some of the stuff that I was talking about on the way here was stored here, right? I think I have a-
Oh yeah,
the
some of the
modified
unidentified
items.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
Good.
Clementina gets the hooked stiletto and the bloody longsword until you take it back from her.
If I take it back from her.
All right, in the back, if you were to head on into the house,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we definitely want to introduce Rosie to Lumpy Steve.
Can I go into the house?
Yeah.
you do need Maggie's invite now.
That's right.
Sassel comes around the side of the bar and he goes, "Won't be a problem. She's gonna like you, I think." And Sassel
They're the
runs
same
in,
height.
and you
Probably
see
taller.
a little girl with sort of soft brown eyes and like her hair straightened down, and appears out of the magical door. She
Great.
goes. She smiles and just sort of nods at you.
Nice house you have here. Can I come in?
She kind of looks and then catches Caleb's eye for the first time,
She's good,
and like
Maggie,
her eyes
she's
go
good.
wide, and she's holding Sir Boba in her hand,
Aw,
and
that's
suddenly
so
goes
cute.
bolting out of the door, and Sassel's like, no, all right, she's out. Barreling over and like runs into Caleb's leg, and just starts doing like a dance as she's like gripped around his leg.
Oh, you're
Can't be
the
that small.
cutest there. Yeah,
With-
she's gotta be getting close
4
to tall
feet, man.
now.
Yeah, she probably is.
Yeah, taller
Probably
than you
like
by
well
now.
past my
Yeah,
waist
she's
by
bent
now.
over a little bit and just
Yeah.
like,
Awkward.
but she looks over at Rosie and then looks up to Caleb for affirmation that she's cool.
I'm like, yep, she is good. She's
She like points at you, and the door kind of shimmers a little bit, and Rosie has access, and she smiles.
Oh, you're so cool. I heard you have a cool toy collection. Can I see it?
She like runs into the house.
All right, I'm gonna go in after.
She takes you to the library, which is now basically her playroom.
But does it have a swimming pool?
This one doesn't have a swimming pool, but there is a swimming pool in the back. So, do you guys want to wait until sort of nightfall? Or do you want to rest
Yeah.
and wait and do something earlier in the morning?
I
Do you
don't.
wanna?
I don't know if we
need to
want to
rest?
rest just yet. I'm full.
I'm wanting to look at the weapons items we have in here, stock, and I was going to send the message.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna
Just-
ask Lumpy Steve to make some food.
I mean, Lumpy Steve is always making food. Tulips in the
know.
kitchen, surrounded by fresh vegetables,
All the time.
Oh, happy.
and Lumpy Steve seems very, very pleased to be caring for Tulip, who seems to have just like constant demands.
It's true. Like a small child.
Yeah.
How odd.
So, Caleb, you're heading to sort of set the rock.
I can do that now if you want, yeah.
Yep. Are you bringing anyone with you?
I'll inquire if anyone wants to go, but I'll start heading. But one thing I do want to do is I would my talisman.
Mm-hmm.
In
Here?
Yeah, here.
Okay. In the magical manner?
Yep.
Sure. Carver, grinning, actually, will say, like, yeah, I'll go. I could use a walk. It's a little quiet in here. Could use some bloody music, you know?
And music just
I mean,
starts
you
playing.
could always ask Sassel to sing, but I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I don't think so. He does hum a lot. Well, come on. I'll go with you.
Be back. Hopefully.
Yeah, it's not far. Again, Sassel's bar is sort of out of the sort of hustle and bustle of the common worker and things like that. He's more in like the upper sort of government civic area. He's used to catering to people that swing by on lunch breaks and stuff like that. So it's not a far walk to what is now the Church of Tyr, a massive building that sort of dominates this open plaza. And there are just like dozens and dozens of acolytes and disciples moving in and out of the temple. Off to the side and down sort of the back alley, you find the aforementioned well, clearly long out of use. And there's like even a board over top of it, but the stone structure of the little well is still there.
Okay. I'll look around just to see if there is anybody around.
Sure. Carver will make a perception check, and he'll sort of inquire as you guys are going. He's like, "So, what are we doing?"
Man, my rolls are great tonight.
Oh my god.
Good thing we have Carver.
Oh man.
We'll be like, we're
Oh, Caleb.
it's Caleb's like trademark. It has to be a one somewhere.
Sure.
We're contacting an old friend, a friend who can blend in. Say,
Oh, nice. All right, getting some shady business done.
well, we need to get a specific item off the ship.
I like it. This is action. I like you, Caleb. I think we're gonna get along real fine. Let me know if you need to bust some heads or anything. I'm your guy.
Yeah, so I think it's safe. Carver's got my back.
Yeah, Carver's like looking around, and as you approach the well, there's like little stones and things like that scattered around. You like count out the number of stones around the well and place them on the correct spot. And as you turn around, you can see Carver looking down the alley, and he says, "I think we got company."
We know.
And as he says that, somebody who just is sort of walking casually at the end of the alley, sort of lit by one of the lamplights, sort of pivots on a heel and starts walking down the alley. And behind them come 4 other characters.
Characters.
Yeah, silhouettes of humanoids, men, women.
Thanks for the clarification there.
Yeah, Carver rolls up his sleeves, tightens the sort of straps that wrap his hands.
Yeah, calm down now. We don't know what's going on yet.
It's a dark alley in the middle of the night. I mean,
Fair enough, but I mean, this evening.
not middle of the night, yeah. But he's like, all right, you can do the talking.
Well, first of all, like, they're still approaching us, or what?
Yeah, they're basically within 30 feet of you now,
Okay.
walking down the side of the building. You can tell immediately that the one in the front has sort of like weird like face paint, like almost as though he were like participating in like a festival, but it's sort of like powdered, sort of pale skin with like sort of black eyeliner and like a stripe down his nose, and he's got long robes on. And the ones behind him are sort of dressed in like leathers, and have these emerald colored sashes that kind of cross the front of their chest.
I'll I guess as I'm walking away from the well, I'll be like, "Oh, there."
The man with the face paint says, "Good evening. It's an interesting spot to be hanging out, don't you think?"
Oh, just paying respects to a friend who is buried near here.
I understand, Caleb.
I never told you.
No, you didn't, but I know you. And I also know who you associate with.
I mean, it's rude for you to know my name and not to know yours.
I apologize if I've offended you, but
No,
it's going to remain that way.
I see.
You know somebody that I'm looking for, and I wish to purchase some information from you. I'm looking for one Garrett McAllister.
And
It's Crumblebottom's attorney.
I believe you know where they are.
Probably.
I mean, I wouldn't say I know exactly where he is.
Well, how about you tell me, and I will decide how much it's worth. I'd be willing to pay quite a lot for anything leading to even the region he is in.
Before I do that, I mean, it's rude of me just to give you information without knowing what he did.
I work for the Emerald Syndicate. Are you familiar with our work? Sorry about the siren.
My ride's here.
Gotta go. Don't think I've heard of it.
We deal in information. We trade it. It's a commodity.
I see. And yet you're looking for...
Yes, of course. People pay us to find things out. And our client is quite interested in this person. Through our research, we have discovered that he was an associate of yours for some time, and left sometime after the winter. We don't know where he's gone, but we know that you likely have that information.
Possible. Possible that I do.
What's your price?
That's a tough... I assume you guys only deal with it.
Primarily, yes, but we are also occasionally will take on contracts to eliminate somebody.
Not necessarily elimination, but more of, I guess, like clearing one's name.
You wish to become anonymous?
I wish that our current dilemma is longer.
I see. Are you in legal trouble? Are you being hunted? Do you need a contract taken off your head? All of these things have prices.
Have you been exposed to asbestos? Mesothelioma.
Have you had an erection lasting longer than 4 hours?
Yeah, that's.
Now, if you said it with a straight face, that would have been better. Yes, all the things. No, I was kidding.
All of the above.
Our current vessel by the docks is kind of under scrutinous eye from the Acolytes of Tyr. Rather it not. And if not, we'd rather a specific set of items removed.
And you're proposing we trade the removal of this item in exchange for the whereabouts of Mr. McAllister?
Removal and return to me. Yes. Now, if it comes at two price points. One, if you return the item to me without the Acolytes of Tyr and knowing, you'll get one set of it. But if you could clear all, I guess, vices against our ship and our crew, without them completely and utterly, searching our ship, finding certain things that we'd rather not be found, then you'll get another set of ladder being...
Tell me about this ship. It's being held, obviously,
Yes.
and has illegal goods on board?
Goodness, I guess you can call it illegal, sure.
And you would like them to stop caring about your vessel?
Yes.
And for this, you will tell us the location of McAllister.
Yes.
We could make a deal.
Okay.
Have you ever made a deal with the Emerald Syndicate?
No.
Right. Well, I look forward to doing business with you. Do we have an agreement? He kind of raises sort of a sickly pale hand.
Because you brought it up, what are the fine points of this deal?
Well, there are no contracts, per se. We know where you are and what you're doing. We know who you are and who your friends are. So there's really no need for any legal binding contracts.
Fair enough.
If you wrong us, we'll find you, or we'll find somebody that you care about. If we do this, and you don't fulfill your end of the bargain, which is the whereabouts of Mr. McAllister, then we will take additional information from you or your friends to make up the difference.
How How will you know that the information I provide you is all that I provide?
Let's just say I'm very good at reading someone. If you tell me something that I know is not true, that will break the agreement.
Fair enough.
Shall I find you when the job is done at the Swine and Pearl?
Most definitely.
Good. See that Mr. Brickpurse has some of that falling chair ale on tap for when we come back.
We'll always have it
Do you shake his hand?
Yep.
All right. Shakes your hand. It's firm considering his slight frame. And as he's turning away, he kind of looks over at Carver and he goes, "Mr. Grinning." And the five of them walk off into the Plaza
Sunset.
District again. Yeah, into the sunset.
Just because. Because I'm curious,
Mhm.
I would like to cast Divine Sense as
Okay.
get an idea of, just because of the whole sickly handshake.
Sure.
Curious.
So what does Divine Sense do for you?
Until the end
So,
of my
like-
next turn, so it doesn't really matter because we're not in combat. I know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within.
Ah, interesting. Yes, the man who shook your hand is undead.
Ooh.
The others are not, though.
You just shook a vampire's hand.
Emerald Enclave, you called them?
Yes.
Carver and be like, well, that was creepy,
You're bloody right it was.
but they
The guy gave me the willies. I don't know if I'd want to punch that guy in the face.
even if you tried, I don't think you could, from what I felt.
Well, let's not jump to any conclusions here, all right? Handle myself.
Regardless, if they can get what I asked done, in the clear. I mean,
What if they botch it?
then they don't get the information.
That's
A
true.
deal's a deal.
That's fair. All right. Well, let's go to a bar.
Well, let's head back to the Swine and Pearl unless you want something different.
Yeah, I think I want to. I've heard about this place. It's called the Gore Covered Club. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I've heard all kinds of stuff about it.
Yes. Never actually partaked in any of their items, but yeah, I
Well,
know
the
the
bar
place
fights from that place apparently are legendary.
well. Don't I know it? Let me tell you a story as we walk.
All right, so the camera pans off as Carver and Caleb presumably head towards the Gore Covered Club. And should we take a 5-minute there?
Sounds good.
Sure.
All right.
Sounds good.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Be right back.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Welcome back.
We're back.
Welcome back.
With cheese.
Yes,
It's
cheese.
true.
Cheese.
This message brought to you by Cheese, the dairy farmers of America.
Canada.
Yes, that too.
No, this is an American cheese. Well, not American cheese. No, never mind. Anyway.
You're done.
It's mozzarella.
All right, so Caleb and Carver head off to the gore-covered club, having made a deal with the Emerald Syndicate to basically make the investigation of Giorgio's barge go away, and to ensure or to recover the valuables that Caleb wants from them, which I assume you told him what it is and where to find it.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So, Minchinos, as you're in the bar, your little contact stone heats up. You hear a tiny dragon roar in your pocket.
Not the first time.
Do I hear it? Is it loud enough for me to hear?
Yeah, it's like it sounds. You could probably hear it from within like 20 feet. So if you're within 20 feet of him, you can certainly.
I'm
Close.
sitting at the bar, so close enough,
Yeah.
probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't care if anybody hears it. Well,
That explains everything. I was muted.
Sorry. Totally muted. All my
I was
fault.
talking and no one heard me.
I did. I just didn't care.
You missed the whole dragon pocket opportunity. That's too bad.
yeah.
I did, and I responded, but
That's the
now it's
thing.
passed, so it's done. It's done. It's
Timing,
done.
timing is everything.
It's passed now. I lost my moment.
All right, so I'll take it out and hold it.
That's
yeah.
what she said.
And let's see what happens with it. No. I don't remember if he said it would do anything other than. So I should just start heading to the shop then, probably.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start doing that and see if anybody wants to come with me to the Brass Drake.
Ooh, I'll go. I'll go.
It's a magic shop.
Ooh. Has to be better than that toy store.
Well, the toy store is not going to be there much longer anyway. So let's go.
All right, on an adventure.
Ithis and Navik, are you going?
Yeah, I'll go.
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, I'll just go play with Maggie.
Okay. Yep.
You gonna come with us?
Yep.
It'll be fun. We'll find you a magic perch.
So Clementina is sort of sparring in the back with these little wooden sort of swords that Maggie has. So they're like running all over, getting like using Lumpy Steve as like a hostage and like playing cops and robbers basically. Every now and then, Tulip will get like overexcited and start barreling down after somebody, and that's the scene that you guys leave as Navik joins the fray.
That was like,
All
oh
right.
god.
Excellent.
All right, so as you approach the Brass Drake, the sun is now fully down.
Mhm.
The ever-present Brass Drake itself kind of like turns to look at you as you approach the front door, and steam comes out of its mouth. And you head on in. And the first thing you notice is that this is now basically a weapon shop in configuration. The man you spoke to earlier is not there, but Rumbluster Grubbins is standing on like a footstool, and he's got like a big blacksmith's apron around his neck, like covered in like heat scars and things like that. And he kind of pushes his glasses up on his nose as you come in, and the little tufts of his hair, wispy white, are kind of flinging in the air. And he goes, "Minchinos,
Rumbluster.
welcome,
How are
welcome
you?
back. It's been quite some time,
How have
looking
you
dashing
been?
as ever. I have
Thank
been very
you.
busy.
It looks it. Look at you, all working on things.
Well, it's a never-ending job, but very satisfying. Very satisfying.
I'm sure this is these are some new folks that have joined us. Rosie and my large parrot-like friend is Ithis.
Narakokra, very nice. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And you?
And Mr. Oh yeah, Never's not there. Right. And then he says, "All right, so you have made one of my employees a very interesting job offer."
So I still have my apparatus. I've seen some wear.
Right.
And I heard you had an artificer. I'd like to get that fixed up and back into some nice condition. Also want to talk about maybe, a couple of little magic items, but maybe we can do some business about some things and see what you have on your special stock, for your friends.
Of course. I mean, everyone that steps through those doors is my friend.
Well, I know, but we go back a long way now. So, like 6 months at least.
At least, yes. And he says, "So truly, then, you have the legendary apparatus of Kvalesh."
Yep.
Fascinating. Yeah. Well, I will say my artificer is quite eager to get his hands on it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And did your assistant tell you about this trade for this item that I happened across that I don't really have a use for, but I believe has some value? If I'm to believe a gnome.
That one is much more interesting. It is, I'm sure, a valuable item, but I have no idea how to appraise such a thing. So I expect any offer that I extend to you might either be offensive or just something that I make up.
It's hard to offend me.
Well, in that case, I would be willing to pay up to 1,000 gold for the amulet. Without its piece or any real way to verify its authenticity, it's kind of a gamble, but I trust you, and I feel like anybody who has an apparatus of Kvalesh probably isn't trying to, sell me false goods.
No, of course not. I mean, look at these robes. Look at these robes.
Yeah. He says, so yes, that's the offer I think I'm comfortable making. At the very least, if you're uncomfortable with the 1,000 gold offer, give me some time. I'll make some meetings, and maybe we can renegotiate.
I feel like that might be a good idea because the value that was expressed by this gnome mage from the Maracad seemed to be almost 10 times that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like it probably is the case for something this powerful that he was very eager to get his hands on.
Perhaps a bit too eager, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
It's possible that he has the other piece.
Where we are business partners going way back, and dare I say friends, I would love to make you a deal that would make both of us happy here. I want a bag of holding and my thing fixed, and maybe a little work done on the side too, because I've got a little customization I might be interested in. But this plus some gold, I think we could. I'd love to come to a deal with you.
So a bag of holding, and you want some time from my artificer
to repair.
Yeah. Understood. Well, how damaged is the apparatus?
I'd say I'm no expert, but probably very
severely. Yeah.
How many hit points is it missing?
Like 10 or missing?
All but 5.
Yeah.
All but 5. What's its max?
200.
It's not feeling so good.
Wow, is it really that low?
Yep.
Yeah, it between the Remoras and then the Frostworms.
So it's missing 195 hit points.
tank, it's been tent, it's been lead. It
Holy
was used
shit.
as a
All right.
submarine.
So he says, so you want the bag of holding as well?
That is something I would definitely like to have. I understand there's a smaller version as well.
Yeah. It's going to be
Um,
quite costly and time consuming for my man to fully repair
Sure.
the vehicle, but I think it can be done. I estimate it wouldn't be complete for, if he's doing well,
Mhm.
2 months.
Okay.
But perhaps we can partially repair it and release it back to you for a time.
Sure.
Out of character, basically what's going to happen is every single day the artificer can heal 1d4 hit points on it.
Nice.
Um,
Excellent.
typically, so effectively what it is, it's a mending cantrip, except because he has the artificer class, he can repair wondrous items.
Okay.
And it's 20 gold per day.
Okay. Now,
per shot, basically.
Okay. So back in character.
Mhm.
All right. That's a long time. What if we talked about a deal for the apparatus?
Oh, well. In its very damaged state? I'm listening.
So I was given a ridiculous offer of something like 12,000 gold or something from
He chokes.
what was the I'm drawing a blank on the name of the Gromley down in whatever the name of the town is.
I think it was
I'm drawing a
Baumgarten.
blank.
In
Baumgarten. Thank you.
It's like,
Couldn't
I got
remember the
notes,
name.
man. I got notes.
Oh, yes. Well, I'm not surprised that they were offering outlandish sums, yes.
So perhaps we can come to a deal if you have some. My friends are going to browse a little bit, I'm sure. And I'd love to see what maybe you have that would be of interest.
In general, or to offset the purchase cost?
To offset the cost. Maybe we
I
can
see.
work out a trade.
Do you have the apparatus here?
It is near the Swine and Pearl.
I'd love to take a look at it if you don't mind. I can have my artificer here in less than an hour.
Sure.
Well, wonderful. Let's get to business.
Okay.
Getting down to business.
And how much did you say the bag of holding was? Just
Bag of holding is 2,000
2,000. Got it.
normally. Yeah.
Right.
I think but you were offered 1,500, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the rest of you, are you looking around for anything in particular, or are you just sort of window shopping? Like, is there information that you wanted to gain, or items that you need?
I will be looking around to see if there's anything interesting in terms of like staves or anything like that too that catches my eye.
Okay. So if there's anything like specific, but that doesn't require sort of like a scene, again, just message me and we'll say that it was picked up while you were there.
Yep.
So I'll just take a quick note of interesting staves. for Minnie. And then, and are you going to hang out while he contacts his artificer? And
Yeah, we'll browse, poke around, look at things.
Okay. Caleb.
Clear question.
Yeah.
How late is the breast drake open? When I left, it was got to be well after.
Yeah, it's like 9:30 now. You get the sense that, or at least Manchinos would have gotten the sense that the brass drake on the front of the building, when it looked over, it detected the contact stone and allowed him entry.
Okay.
So yeah, normal business hours are closed, which is probably why Rumbluster is sort of in his like work clothes and stuff.
Gotcha.
I know people. I
Uh-huh,
know
yep.
people.
He has his connections, man.
Yep.
Mhm.
It's not what you have, is what you are. Got it.
Caleb, you and Carver are outside of the gore-covered club. There's a small line of about 5 people at the moment. A bunch of just gnarly-looking bruiser guys with like leather jackets and like spiked up hair and things like that.
Lovely.
And there is a bouncer outside, a Goliath. This is where you met Solesk for the first time, actually. Yeah. It is not Solesk at the door, unfortunately, but you guys come up and Carver's like, he's like, "What's the door fee?" And the guy kind of looks at both of you. He's like, "The dwarf's in full plate.
And
I'm not letting him in here.
Right?
This is a club.
That's fine.
We don't need any knights in shining armor, all right? You go down to the block and find the other place."
This protects
Right.
against clubs.
He's like, yeah, that's real funny. All right, get out of here. Come on. This isn't the place for you. Carver's just like, I mean, okay, yeah, he doesn't fit the part completely, but listen, this guy, he's a hard-ass man. He'll fuck you up. I know that something's going down here tonight. I've heard the stories. I got to be a part of it. Don't you want somebody like this in here protecting your property? And the guy is just like, he kind of looks over at Caleb. He's like, he doesn't seem like much of a fighter.
No, but the invasion of Bremwick.
Everybody knows about the invasion of Bremwick.
Do you know stopped said invasion?
I've heard stories.
And what were those stories, do you people?
Well,
Do you even know, bro?
there was a lot of people, a lot of heroes during that time.
There were.
I did my share.
I'm glad you did. I'm part of the ones that brought it to the end. The main part.
What, with the rift?
Yes.
You were there?
We were in the throne room. Right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We were at the core.
All right. If you were there, tell me this. What'd the kid look like? The prince.
Prince? The prince was a gray slot.
That's what I heard. I didn't really believe it. Motherfucker.
He is now possibly the plane of existence, but I don't know.
Well, that'd be cool. How do I know that the current council aren't all slod? This kind of shit keeps me up at night, man. God damn it.
Yep.
Fuck this world. All right, come on, get in here.
I like this guy.
He's like, you see, like now he's just got like the heebie-jeebies. He's just like, God,
Don't worry,
freaking
while I'm
our
here,
people.
we will make sure there is no slot.
All right, well, don't hurt anybody.
I'll try
Remember,
not to.
you can't use that mace when the shit hits the fan. Usually around 1.
No, that's fine. There's enough bottles in
Alright.
there.
All right,
No
I'll see you in there. I usually join the fracas at around 1:15.
Gives you 15
Free.
minutes. Good.
Very punctual.
You guys walk in to the place. There's there's 4 orcs on a stage. All of them are playing the drums.
Sweet.
And
That is
I love
wonderful.
the Green Man group.
yeah, that's canon now.
Green Man group. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, one night only. So they're just like doing like a crazy war drumming solo, and there's like people like leaning around and like having drinks and stuff like that. There's a couple of little scuffles going on here and there, and there's like that upper balcony that kind of looks over the main floor as well. And I'd like you to make another perception check.
Perception, because you know how good my perceptions are.
Yeah, it's always good comedy.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
I'm one scale or the other. There's nothing in
Hey,
between.
Look at that.
I might not even need what's his face to
Carver.
roll, but I will.
May as well.
Carver,
I mean, you
Carver.
could always just use Carver to give me advantage, because it's, again, one way or the other.
That's true. Perception.
Also,
Level 19. All right. So you can see Carver kind of like wiping his nose a little bit, like maybe he smelled something off.
Yeah.
As you head in, and he kind of leans over to you, and it's kind of hard to hear him over the crowd, but with the perception that you just rolled, you can hear him say, "Something's not right in here."
It's all like cornstarch in the air.
Do I smell anything?
I mean, it smells like old ale and sweat. Yeah, it smells like a club.
Fair enough. You're like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Thanks for the drums.
He's like, I don't know, something's not right. It's coming from over in the back there. I'm not sure. It's not sitting right.
Shall we
And
check it out?
he's like, yeah, but let's not go too far. Let's not go too far up.
Sure.
And you kind of move around the stage where the
Down
Green
my
Man
nail
group
first that I have.
are playing. And in the back corner, you can see that there's a table set up, and there's like 5 or 6 people playing a card game here. And in the back, you see an old man with like a white beard, who's kind of like hunched over his cards, sort of like this, and he's kind of looking up and like studying people around him. He puts his cards down, and he reaches out and puts a book in the center of the table, and he says, "I bet this."
Yep, nothing to see here.
Move along.
Carver kind of leans over and he's like, "I think that's the source.
Yes.
It smells like death."
Old, musty, and dead. Yep.
And yeah, go ahead.
I was like, we can just go back to our drinks. We can just ignore this, let it happen.
Yeah, he's like, "All right, it's gross. I don't know if I want to stay here anymore. It's like everywhere." And
yeah,
as you're looking at Carver, you can see that like underneath his chin, he's got like this like weird red mark that looks like 4 scratches across the underside of his chin, and every now and then he'll go up and he'll scratch it. He's like, "Yeah, something's giving me the jeebies here." Let's hang out a little bit at least.
Yep.
We'll get another beer.
hopefully the smell doesn't irritate your rash.
Should have Trapper John look at that.
Yeah. He's like, he kind of looks at you and goes, "It's not a rash. It's just an old wound."
Old wound. What?
Yeah.
Got time.
Oh, you know, you get into fights, you get scars.
I mean, if you're willing to tell the story. We got time. We can buy a round.
You're one of those paladin types, yeah?
Yep.
You fight for good.
I
Do the
fight
whole
for what's
justice
right.
thing.
Yeah.
It's funny that we're hanging out at all, actually, but yeah, usually me and your type don't usually get along.
Again, I fight for what's right, not necessarily.
That's fair. Well, I guess you didn't crush that emerald guy, but back there. Oh, actually, did you tell him that you sensed the undead often?
Probably not. No.
No? Okay, then he doesn't say that. He goes, he's like, yeah, we go a long way back. I've had some problems with clerical types.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Listen, buy me a few rounds, maybe we'll talk about it.
Sure, why not? Right.
I mean, it's like 6 copper per drink. This is not one of the bars that serves falling chair.
Yeah, fair enough.
Minchinos, a thin man comes in with like wisps, elven, with wisps of like sort of jet black hair, fairly young face, but you can tell that his eyes hold a lot of years. And he's sort of dressed in very fine garments. At his waist, he has like a couple of like leather straps that hold bags and tools and things like that. Kind of like a very he's got like the fanciest tool belt in the city. There's like little cogs spinning, and there's like his magnifying goggles are kind of hanging around his neck, and even they are sort of blinged out. And he and at this point, have you retrieved the apparatus?
Yeah, I would have brought it back.
Okay.
While they were browsing, I wouldn't go
Okay.
get it.
So he comes in, he's looking at it, and he goes, "Wow, I do believe it is authentic. May I attempt to use it?"
Please go right ahead. Let me show you a little bit, and I show him how the levers work.
Yeah,
because they're not standard anymore.
Yeah, he's like, it's quite grimy, a little bit, but
prestidigitation.
He's like, yeah, I suppose I could have done that as well.
There's a little Remoras left.
Remoras, interesting. If you have any of their spikes, let me know.
You'll want to talk to the big fellow that we travel with.
Oh, so you did harvest it.
Oh, the head used to be on top of this till I gave it to the halflings in Bellbuck.
The halflings bought it. Well, the head is useless, but
yeah, no, it was. They mounted it up on one of their exhibition stores. It was pretty gamey at that point in time, so they probably just left it as a skull.
Well, they should know that after about a year, a Remoras skeleton turns to a acidic goo. Maybe want to let them know about that. But anyway, yes, please do let your friend know that I'm in the market. Cool. They are quite valuable.
Cool.
So this looks pretty banged up. I think we can probably make a deal, though. Would you be willing to leave it with me?
So, sure. I mean, of course, I trust Mr. Bottom, but no, I'm not going to. But anyway, I trust y'all, and but it's just make sure it stays safe. This saw the final battle here in Bremwick. It traveled to the top of the expanse to the Goliaths. It's seen some shit, as you can tell.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
But it is a storied piece of history.
So are you having it repaired or are you selling it?
Well,
because I might be in the market.
Could be either. If you want to make me an offer, I'd be happy to entertain it.
He kind of looks over at Rumbluster.
Baumgarten only offered me about 10 to 13,000.
Well, in its condition, I'm not surprised. But if it were fixed up, it could be worth probably closer to 15 to 16.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Of course, I would have to put about 4,000 into it. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But you also do have, it would actually be even more than that, simply because this is a historical artifact, not an artifact. So you have to take that into account as well.
Has anybody important seen you, I don't know, slaying Slod in this thing?
Oh, lots of people.
And they would vouch and verify that story?
Oh, sure. Let's see. The Salvadors. What was the captain's name? Scheiss.
Which one?
There was like a captain of the guard that fought with us too.
In Fox Run, there was Yorick.
No, there was a guy here too.
You can find any of the Githyanki.
Oh, that's true. All of the Githyanki.
He says, he's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they have been quite the addition to the city. That would be interesting. They've made themselves welcomed. Or the Gith, at least. The Githzerai. The Githyanki are a little bit of a rebel.
Yeah, well, they're often that cove anyway.
In Vlaakith, yes. Well, I am prepared to offer you, assuming the stories are true.
I would not lie.
Liar's dice.
I will give you...
I'm actually not lying. That's the beauty of
I
it.
know.
I will give you 14,500 gold pieces. Well, in platinum.
Of course.
I can't carry that much weight.
No. Neither could I.
He's like, and I must say, I do feel like I am overpaying, but this is of personal importance to me. I think these are very rare, and I'm quite a fan of Qualish.
And it is important to the city too, and I'm happy that it's in good, solid Bremwick hands.
He says, so we have a deal?
I think we do.
All right, then. Well, I apologize, Rumbluster. I may have stepped into your deal and swiped it, unless you want to make a counter offer. Rumbluster's like...
Think of how much money I'm going to spend in your shop now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Rumbluster's like, no, I wouldn't have gone more than 11. Congratulations. And the artificer smiles brightly and he goes, well, it's a good night. If you don't mind, I'd like to test it out just overnight, but I will give you half the money up front.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
So he gives you a large pouch. Divided by 10. He gives you 725 platinum pieces.
Fantastic.
Did anybody go with him?
I'm there.
Yeah.
Rosie's there.
Rosie's
And
better,
if it's-
making sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'll turn to Rumbluster and say, and now we can start talking about bags of holding and
Yeah.
other things that we were dealing with.
Yeah, Rosie, the amount of coin that just changed hands could probably buy Belbuck.
Yeah, I'm like,
I just tuck it into my robes.
yeah, into your bra, just.
Yep, just right down in there.
That'd be quite the sizable. You have to spread them over. It'd be
Well,
lopsided.
no, I have 2 pouches.
Oh, there you go. Just sizable.
I only
Navik.
regret Caleb wasn't here to actually see that.
Yep.
Navik, back in the house or the inn, you are. It's been a couple of hours. Are you still? Maggie has gone to bed. Tulip has sort of passed out in like a gluttonous haze after just devouring a crate filled with turnips.
Oh, darn.
So it's you sort of in the house basically alone at the moment. Maggie has not invited anyone else from the boat in at Sasso's request. So where are you right now?
I'm probably at the bar.
At the bar? Okay.
So waiting for everyone to get back.
The woman who normally who was staying here when you guys first arrived, Tilly. You've seen her in passing. She's like, smiled and nodded, but hasn't really spoken to you. She comes down and kind of pulls up a seat next to you, and she goes, "Hello, I'm Tilly."
Hello, Navik.
You're friends with Mr. Brickpurse, yes?
Yep.
Sassel at the other side of the bar, he goes, all right, Tilly, I'm glad you're here. Listen, I've been holding it for too long. I'll be gone for about 2 hours.
Whoa!
Emergency? What is emergency?
And he marches upstairs, and so it's just you and Tilly in the common room. And she goes, I'm used to that.
You're used to that?
Yes. He leaves me in charge of his bar often.
Strange.
And she's a half elf. And she kind of like leaning back on the stool, and she's like, "So, how are you?"
I'm good.
Good. Was it you that called me?
No.
She goes, "Oh, sorry, my mistake." And you see her skin sort of like shift, and suddenly there are like boils and like little scars all over the face, and there's this like blue sort of like pockmarked skin faced like humanoid sitting next to you suddenly, and then just as fast as it switched to that, it switches to Finithal, the elven information / spy specialist that you dealt with previously. And he goes, yes, it's good to see you again, Navik.
All right, then I pat his head back with my hand and probably do some damage.
Oh, God. Okay, I still have a few wounds from before. I haven't quite gotten back to my old fighting self.
So that's what, D6 damage?
You see that his old katana sheaths that he used to wear on his back have been replaced with what looks like a satchel that sort of hangs over his shoulders. He's like, yeah, no, I haven't done anything like that in a little while. Feel like I'm not quite up to the task.
Not up to fighting right now?
No, I think I prefer to lurk in the shadows, which is why I revealed myself. I understand one of you sent the signal.
Navik would know about it.
Yes. Yeah. What?
You would
I
know
think
about
we-
it. We talked about it.
Yeah.
He's like,
yeah, the signal.
are you just, was it, I hope it wasn't just to say hi. I do try to keep myself.
No, it
Under the
was
radar.
Caleb.
Oh, is he in trouble?
A little bit. We did get into a little bit of trouble on the docks. The boat is impounded.
Oh, you're the quarantine.
Yes.
Right. I understand. Okay, well. Why?
You know about his hammer.
Oh, no, I remember. They're
Yes.
going to find it.
It's in the ship.
It's on board right now.
Yes.
What are we waiting for? Come. You and me, Navik. Like old times.
Go.
All right. Yeah. I only have my main weapon with me right now, the Leviathan Edge. So, I
told
don't
him that?
need anything else
Yeah.
other than that.
Yeah. So he gets up. He's like, "Give me one moment," and he runs upstairs to the room he's staying in. He comes back down, and he's got the 2 katanas, and he goes shink, puts them on his back, and he's like,
Aw.
"I should probably change.
Probably.
No, for old time's sake, I'm staying like this."
you
And
sure?
so,
Awkward man and Goliath. Yeah, we're good.
yeah, and he runs out into the street, and you follow him.
Do I know where Cecil went?
Sassel's in the bathroom.
He's having the world's longest poop.
Cecil, we're going away.
He's like, "Okay, just tell Tilly to mind it."
I said we're going away.
Come again?
See you later.
So Navik and Finithul head off under cover of darkness towards the docks to liberate the barge, and I think we will call it there.
Yep.
That's amazing.
You never told me about the deal that you made.
Oh, Finithul.
The deal.
Yeah,
Oh, with the Emerald
Emerald.
Conclave.
No one knows other than Carver. Yeah, we haven't been back.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So,
If I see someone trying to steal the hammer, it's not going to end well.
yeah. So we have 3. We have a split party, which is always fun.
Mhm. 3 of us are at the Brass Drake.
Yep.
Having a good old time.
Getting rich.
Yeah, I expect my half.
Oh, okay.
Caleb and Carver are anticipating the end to all good gore-covered club nights, which is a full-blown bar brawl. And Navik and Finithul are heading off to try and do what the Emerald Syndicate are also trying to do.
Maybe some conflict of interest
What
there.
could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Nothing,
Nothing.
nothing.
Nothing at all.
Yeah, nothing's going to go wrong.
It'll be fine.
Everything
Everybody
is
will
fine.
have a happy ending. It's 3d6,
I've
right?
never known Finithil to just go off and just run out. But anyway.
Yeah, he seems a little bit emboldened with a familiar face back in town.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to have the classics back.
It's true. It's true.
Yep.
So does next Friday work for everybody?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
So, good day.
Yep. Should be right.
I'm gonna reach out to the 3 people who are doing the shopping, and just if there's anything you want, we'll get that sorted.
Yep.
And as well as if there's any, remember that this is a place where you can do sort of magical research as well.
Mhm.
So they have specialists on hand that you can hire to look up things for you.
Yep.
So remember that. If there's anything that Rosie or Ithis want Minchinos to buy them, let me know that too.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yeah. And I think we'll start next session probably at the docks with Finithul and Navik.
Sounds
Good
good.
Oh, and nobody in the bar would have seen Finithul because Sassel went to the shitter.
Yep.
Mhm.
Fantastic.
Perfect. No one knows.
I mean, you all know that
How
he
many
was
how many
contacted,
basic rules have we broken on this endeavor?
All of them.
So. What do you mean, what basic
Fantastic.
rules? What basic
Yep.
rules?
Splitting the party up.
Hey, I said
Conducting all
where I
these
was
deals.
going. You all
Making
knew.
deals with vampires.
Yeah, it's fine.
Selling out old characters.
I haven't sold him out yet.
No, I know.
I can't wait to
Yes.
see your deception roll then.
Oh gosh, that's
Who
gonna be
says
great.
I'm going to deceive? If you've known Caleb this long, you would know that he will do anything that gives him a direct goal.
Yeah, yeah.
Including selling his friends.
Oh, Manchinos knows.
I mean, I've already tried to kill Machinos once, maybe twice. Cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much, everybody.
All
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Very much for anyone in the channel.
Yeah, thanks
watching.
all.
Thanks for
Thank you.
watching.
Yeah.
Hey, we're at 39, almost 40.
Woot,
Be
we're
back.
almost there.
Hit the
If
Pyro
you,
Club button.
please follow if you haven't already.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be back next Friday with Pyro Club and possibly tomorrow night with
Yes,
Oh, we need to go
do.
deeper.
Yep.
playing
That'll be fun.
player co-op.
Who's bringing the lube?
Oh,
Ashes apparently.
apparently, yep.
Cool.
You know what? Never mind.
Well, with that,
That was actually a really good answer, but we're gonna get thrown on Twitch. I give it.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. It's done.
I will bid everybody adieu.